Last night, NXT and AEW ended their nearly year and a half rivalry on Wednesday nights. Thus, beginning this Tuesday, NXT will be on Tuesdays on USA, and AEW will have Wednesdays all to itself. Now, to a lot of fans, this is going to benefit both brands because, they're not competing with each other anymore. Thus, they'll be able to kind of, get back to what made them what they were originally, made them the alternative best wrestling brands, in the world in many people's eyes. However, we shouldn't, count our eggs before they hatch. Because if there's one thing that NXT, or both NXT and AEW, need to realize is that with the momentum that they have, currently right now, especially NXT coming off of night one of Stand and Deliver, their two-night takeover show, and the momentum AEW has with the announcement that we're finally going to get the Blood and Guts War Game match on a special edition of Dynamite on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. With both of them having that momentum, if I'm both those companies, or both those promotions, or those brands, if you will, if there's one thing I do not need to do, to make sure I don't lose any viewers, any fans, and that I don't get any more criticism, about, slacking off and, dropping the ball, once it was handed to me, if there's anything that I should keep in my mind is I need to keep that momentum going. I need to keep my guard up at all times, week after week. Because even though NXT right now and AEW are not competing with each other anymore for the time being, and that could all change, let's not, disagree on that, they still have competition outside of them. I mean, on Tuesday nights, you have ESPN, you have TNT, ironically, the NBA network, that show NBA games. And during certain parts of the year, show college games. FS1 gets included into that, category as well during the college basketball season. And sometimes during football season, you have ESPN broadcast either a Sun Belt or a MAC conference game on Tuesday nights. When it comes to Wednesdays, it's pretty much the same. ESPN has baseball at times, FS1 at times will have college basketball, and you have all these local sports affiliates, on both nights that are showcasing ball games as well of different kinds depending on the season. And if either AEW or NXT slip on a banana peel more than once, a lot of people are going to start detracting from them and putting their attention elsewhere. So if I'm NXT and I'm, AEW, I don't do that. I don't lose focus. I keep that momentum going. I mean, the fact that, for NXT, they now have a night all to themselves once again, that should be, enough motivation for them to get better, to become, shades, if not past the shades of the NXT of old and become the NXT that it's meant to be. The same as AEW. Now that they don't have to deal with NXT on Wednesday nights, they have the opportunity to grow as well and start expanding and start doing things that, they couldn't do previously. I mean, why do you think, they have the Cinco de Mayo, circled for Blood and Guts War Games? It's not because, it's been a year since it was originally supposed to happen and was held off because of the pandemic. No, they're doing it because they realize that they have that Wednesday, mainly as far as the wrestling show goes, all to themselves. And that they can go a lot further, not just focusing on the Blood and Guts match, but the entire card. They can make the entire card into a super show of AEW Dynamite, unlike they've had before when it came to other special editions. So, they have that opportunity. The only thing that can screw it up for them, and the same goes for NXT, is if they lose their footing. If they get lazy, they start slacking off. And both brands have enough momentum, on them right now, coming off of last night, that they don't need to lose that. They could utilize, I should say, that to grow on and not lose it. not, reverse course and de-age, if regress. They now have that momentum to grow and get better, and become the premier wrestling brands in wrestling today. They have that opportunity. NXT, they like to do special editions of their show at times now. Guess what? After Stand and Deliver last night, and potentially after tonight with night 2, they have that momentum, to do just that. They have the momentum to do what AEW is doing and take a regular NXT show and turn it into a, special edition that's worthy of a takeover-like environment, even though it's not. So, in the end, what I'm trying to get across, and it's early in the morning when I'm doing this, because, this is one of the opportunities I talk about, that I have to, give myself, when you have family at home, on break, that being my mom. But anyway, what I'm trying to say in closing, basically, is if I'm both NXT and AEW, I build on this. AEW's got 2 things that they can build the momentum and the future on right now, storyline-wise. They can, the Blood and Guts War Game match on Cinco de Mayo, and now this storytelling of the Young Bucks, seemingly, because if you look, and a lot of people will point this out, you look at the reaction on the faces, reluctantly joining up with Kenny, the Good Brothers, and Callis. And from a storyline perspective, I think many could probably tell that this is a story that, even though it's been done before, it's a story that, if done right, will have an excellent payoff, a payoff of redemption for the person that is the center of it, and that being Omega. And that's, with the Bucks reluctantly joining to expose Callis for who he really is to Omega. So, in the end, guys, like I said, they have that momentum to build on for Cinco de Mayo, Blood and Guts, and Double or Nothing afterwards, where I think some of this will come to a culmination, or at least we'll start getting hints of something to come in the near future. And as far as, like I say, NXT goes, after last night, people saying that it felt like the NXT of old, they could use that momentum they gained from last night and the potential momentum they can gain from tonight on night 2 and build on that for Tuesdays. I mean, this Tuesday is going to be the NXT after TakeOver, the first NXT on its new night. You need to use that momentum to go big. You need to do things that no one would see coming or would expect to come. And things like, possible turns, debuts, you name it. You got to go all out. And you got to do it in a way that is reminiscing to fans of the NXT of old. That's what you need to do. So in conclusion, guys, I guess what I'm trying to say is if I'm AEW and NXT, I got the momentum, I run with it, I don't lose it. And that's all I can say. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. And I am out. Get vaccinated. Stay safe. Peace.